as many of you know, I've been learning how to do this new method of gardening called the Mittleider method. And one of the things that he recommends that you have as you're starting this gardening process is a leveling device. Now this is a 8-foot long, essentially level, and it works really well at helping you to level both your raised beds and your soil beds in the garden. And so let's go ahead and take a look at how that's done. The first step is to pick out a 2-inch by 3-inch board that's 8 foot long. And the most important thing about this is that you make sure it's extremely straight. So the way you do that is you sight down it and you turn it and just kind of look down to see if there's any turns in it. And mine's nice and straight, which I would hope that it was because I worked really hard to find a good straight one at the store. You'd be surprised how many are bent. The other boards that you're going to need are just some little blocks. Now these are only 1 inch by 1.5 inch and they're 3 inches long. And there's 2 of them, and these are just to help protect the level so that it doesn't get broken as you use it outside. In addition, you'll need a small RV level and screws both to put on the level and to put on those little blocks of wood. This is really a simple project, but it can make a big difference on how level your garden is, which you wouldn't think would be important, but if you consider that water will go downhill, then anytime you're adding fertilizer and then watering, all that fertilizer is getting pushed down to the lower part. And so if you make sure everything's nice and level, then everything is going to equally get distributed with your fertilizer. So after you have your boards, you want to paint them with an exterior grade paint. It doesn't matter what color they are. This happens to be what I had left over from when I was working on my greenhouse. Mine in particular is an oil-based paint. It's a fence and barn paint. And I did it for both the blocks and that. I didn't do it for the back side of the blocks because that's going to be just connected right to my board. First thing you need to do is mark the center of your board and place your level because you want that right in the center. And I'm just using 1/2 inch nails for this, or 1/2 inch screws. You want to place your blocks about 1/2 inch to 1 inch away on either side. And the only reason for those is to protect your level itself. So I'm going to go ahead and start my screws. So my little block of wood actually split. Now because there's no structural need for it, I'm going to just go ahead and tack it down with the finishing nail gun. And then I'll put some wood glue right along those cracks, and after that's dried, I'll do the paint right on top of it and it should be just fine. And now you see just how easy it is to make a leveling device for use in the Mittleider gardening system. And if you would like to see me using it, go ahead and keep an eye out for when I put my garden together.